Hello, race car fans. A long-awaited model has come out to the diecast realm. It is the Finclassically branded version of the 917 KH, the LeMans winner of 1971. And it's weird. It doesn't actually say Finclassically. That's what it's listed as. I bought this one off AliExpress. Here's a little article I found online here by the Automobilist. And let's see. I guess these guys. I think a Porsche was going to win this Le Mans anyways, because of the 49 entries, 33 of them were Porsches. So that's a pretty high amount of cars of one mark. But these guys here, Marco and Van Lennep, they set this record of 397 laps. It lasted for 39 years, that record. That's very impressive. The 5-liter engine class, this thing made around 630 horsepower, and what made this car better than the other ones is it had a magnesium chassis. The chassis was lighter than aluminum, so it saved around 40 kilos, which is around the size of a small woman or a small child in America. Seriously, I read online that America is 40% obese. You guys gotta clean it up. I'm one of you guys. I'm overweight, not gonna lie to you, but I'm not obese. You try. You gotta at least try to eat better. Alright, well anyways, so that's a little bit this is the car all opened up. I think that's pretty neat to look at. And I got some other photos to look at here, so let's continue on with this. Get this thing open. It's brand new. Oh, okay, so there it says Fin. I guess that's the logo for Finclassically. It's so small. You'd think they would just have it big on the bottom, but no, guess not. But I'm gonna guess this is not licensed because I see nowhere on here Porsche approval. So, all right. We got the basic card outline, and we have a nice little background here of. I don't know if that's the circuit of Le Mans. I would have to assume it is, but you never know. Leave a comment if you really know. I haven't played Gran Turismo in a long time, so I forget what the thing looks like. Alright, that's a very loose top cover. And it's got two chrome or stainless screws holding it in place. I've never actually seen a base with this recess here. It's saving on plastic or something. And then we have a nice photo etched metal plate here. It's very much telling you exactly what the car is, which is nice. Except it doesn't say Porsche, which you would think it would say that, but it doesn't. And there's around 1,000 of this livery, so hopefully you can pick it up while it's still on sale. Alright, the rest of the base is nice. It's got like a graphic here on it. I don't know if that's a sticker or a print. It looks like it's inserted into the base, but I like it. Let's go look at the photos here. Maybe that's I don't know where that is. The Porsche Museum? That's the previous winner, the 1970 917K. But you'll notice this is a little different. It's got these shark fins on the sides. Okay, let's look at the side photo. This is from a Porsche website, I believe, this photo here. So the front bumper, front area, going to the hood, all matches up pretty nice. Going to these wings. Looks pretty good. Top view, I'm assuming from the race itself, or some race. Looks pretty neat. And then we have this exposed chassis in the back. Alright, well, let's see what the rest of it looks like here. Focus on this front wheel. So it's a very black wheel, of course. Zoom in. Well, it's got a axle opening there. It's really hard to see what's going on. It's just so dark. I'm actually going to pull out a flashlight here. And then the brake rotor is back there, which is nice. It's as smooth as it would be back then. And the caliper looks like it might be like a goldish color or like titanium color. Yeah, alright. I guess that's okay. I like the tire. It's rounded, kind of like a balloon, and the Firestone, I'm guessing maybe that's a decal. Seems alright. Look at the gappiness. Possibly I could use a little more air gap, but I'm okay with it. And then what's going on with this? Is this oh, look at this. This might be really awesome. I think this is under the Clearcoat, this sponsorship. Let me hit focus again. Yeah. Might be mistaken, but I feel like that sponsorship is under the Clearcoat. Here? See, I don't see any of the wrinkliness in between the twos, but I'm assuming that's a decal. But yeah, it's under the Clearcoat. I don't know if it's a tampo print or a decal, but it's under the Clearcoat, so that's fantastic. You see how this sharp reflection? There's no break in it. If this is a tampo print on top of the Clearcoat, you would clearly see that being on top, but it's not. So that's really great. This is all very legible, all this text, very good. This looks good as well. Yeah, very nice, very impressive. The rear wing here, okay, looks good. The printing there, or decal on that tire is nice. And then the wheel, I guess, is much deeper than the front. And it still seems to have like a brake. I guess if you're to nitpick, that brake is, the rotor is way too big. It's literally touching the wheel itself. But a real brake wouldn't be like that because it has to spin, right? The wheel has to spin around the brake and not drag it. So I guess that's one thing. They could have easily designed it to be smaller. As to why they made it that big, I don't know. Still, that's a minor nitpick. It's going around to the front here. The headlights are looking nice. We got these covers, and then behind them we have silver painted headlights. One looks like it has a light bulb. That one does not, but they're both conical, like headlight buckets are. They don't have the lens, of course, but what can you do? I can't improve on that. The light covers have some black printing and even maybe silver dots like the screws to hold that cover on. This grille is a decent enough texture. Possibly it's even a separate piece. Let me see. This light angle always works the best. Yeah, I think the separation of color is so good that might be a separate insert. This is just black paint in there, but it's recessed, so it looks good. Okay, going around to this side. Yeah, there's a cut in my tire. That's unfortunate. Different graphic here. Some sort of arrow pointing to this box. Emergency cutoff or something? Okay, that all looks fine. This Clearcoat is just insane. It's really thick. It's really glossy. Impressive. Alright, going to the top. Again, I feel like the number is under the Clearcoat. It's actually going into the panel gap. That's impressive. Unfortunately, it's not actually lined up properly. You see, it's actually crooked. This side's higher than that side. The wiper blade, is that a separate piece? I think it is. It's, I think a photo etched piece of metal. It's bent. It's just, yeah, it's clearly a separate piece. It's very delicate looking. Look at that, the two arms. So that's a really impressive windscreen wiper. And then we have this plastic molded set of windows. The windshield is nice because it's pretty much flush with the diecast. What's not nice is the side windows. See how recessed they are? This looks like a Hot Wheels. For some reason, what I'm guessing is maybe this is all the same piece of plastic. This should have been a separate piece, and they should have molded it to be flush. It's just really unfortunate it's that far down. So that could have been a lot better. Other brands would do it. I mean, even some Hot Wheels have flush windows. So that's weird that they chose to do that. You see, you can literally see this top of this window carrying across through to the other side. But really, that center rib should be recessed so these windows come up more. Poor design. Alright, well, anyways, some random bits of panel gaps, and the gaps are pretty thin. I mean, this is a toothpick I'm holding, so pretty nice. Some louvers of the tires. Of course, there's no black paint in there, but it seems alright. I'm not sure why these names are printed on twice here on this side. I'm sure that's wrong. Yeah, look at the top photos. This is an error. Why they printed that 2 times for no reason. It should just be one set of names. So that's strange. Very strange. Okay, a silver gas cap or oil cap, I'm not sure, but it looks like it's a separate piece because the air... Oh, see, yeah, look at that. It's a separate piece. Don't push too hard, that might just vanish. Same here, we have a separate piece. I'm not sure why it's wobbling like that. Maybe it's literally sticking up on that one. Interesting. Okay, so this graphic again is under the clear coat. That's fantastic. Very fantastic. It's never going to peel off. The engine has got that fan blade, and it's like a metallic gold, like gold color, I guess, or titanium. And then this, these are decals. Those are exposed. You probably don't want to pick at those too much. This is plastic here. These NACA ducts, they have some black paint in them, so that's nice and realistic. Unfortunately, not here in that tiny one, but that's acceptable. It's so small. Unfortunately, there's no black paint here, though, either. That's the same height as those back ones. Could have been done. 22 here, again, under the clear coat. That's great. And then the little wing kick up there is nice. Alright, that's all legible. The Porsche is legible, but it's crooked. So that's unfortunate. A lot of crooked sponsors and a lot of crooked decals on this. It's not even centered. Look how close the P is to here, but the E has this gap here, so it's crooked and not centered. The taillights are clear resin. You can see the light bouncing around in there. They seem to be pegged into that frame. I don't know if those are the exhaust tips, but they have some depth to them and some lightning holes with this cross member. The actual frame is relatively thin plastic. That's pretty nice. Get a flashlight, see if there's anything else to see. Spare wheel, recess there. The treads look nice. And what's nice about the treads is they don't look like truck tires from the side, right? They look like slicks. Very cool. What's interesting though is maybe these would be rain tires. Like, why would a race tire... that must be the rain tires because they have treads. During the normal dry race, they'd just be running slicks. You would think they would just model the thing to have slicks just because it'd be easier to make. But they chose to put treads on the tires for some reason. Interesting. And I guess out of curiosity, I want to see what the bottom of this is. There's nothing really delicate, it seems. There's no tow hook sticking out of this thing. Because if for some reason, something was wrong, let's see if it's screwed together. It is screwed together. There's one screw there, so you could possibly fix something that might be wrong. There's nothing on the bottom though, so if you lose the base, you have no idea who made this or even what the car is. Yeah, decent enough detail there. And then this does kinda, no, the front one doesn't roll at all. So this is not for you Hot Wheels track folk or people that like to roll their models around. Still, I like it. Decent enough detail. I'm really impressed with the clear-coated graphics. It's just obviously some of the graphics are a bit off. There's some O-rings here holding it in place, and you'll notice there's a big slot here instead of a hole. So they must be accommodating different models with this base, with different openings. Although you would think they would just design the base to fit whatever. Let's see if we can see any of these interior details. It's really hard on a molded window. There's just so much distortion. I don't think we can see much of anything other than the steering wheel. So the steering wheel, yeah, it's got a thin column. It's got hollow spokes for the wheel itself. The seat seems to have some horizontal ribbing. And you're not going to see anything through those side windows. They're just too thick. So a closer look at that rear photograph I had, it did have treads. So I don't know if all the dry tires had treads or not, but it's interesting. Okay, anyways. I'm going to go through a little Porsche racing car history. Let's start with the old one. Here's a Kyosho from 1953, the 550 Spider. Look how small this thing is. Then the 904 GTS. This car may have actually run at Le Mans. Not obviously with racing livery, it would have. And then I'm pretty sure the 906, this possibly may have even won Le Mans at one point in time, but I might be mistaken. Then this is the 907. I don't think this has ever won Le Mans. Look how long that is. And then here's the previous winner, the 917K. This is by Sparky. And this also has treads. So maybe in the early 70s they actually had treaded tires on these race cars. What's not good about Sparky, first is press fit together. So if you have a problem, you're going to have to drill it apart. It is more detailed though, possibly, at least the front suspension area. And then it's got some paint in the rear for the exhaust tips. What's really bad about this is how they have this stripe just floating in air, right? That's horrible. I mean, this decal is going to crack. And Finclassically makes this. I just debate if I want to get it, because look at this. See, this is already getting paint rash. I don't trust diecasts. They get paint rash. This also has a molded in wiper blade. I would say it's basically inferior just based off the decals alone. And then obviously you can see the paint rash. It hasn't been that long since I've owned this thing. So yeah, if you don't have this car right now, just buy this Finclassically one. Chances are the decals will be under the clear coat. Here's another Sparky of the, I think 956 or 962, 956B. This was third at Le Mans in '84. I bought this because it was tobacco livery. But you see the exposed decals again. They're just wrinkly. You know, it's wrinkly. It's not smooth. It just looks weird to have wrinkly finishes on a car that's supposed to be glossy. So I'm not a fan of decals that are exposed. You know, I'm gonna put this next to this, and you can just see how big cars have become, even in the racing realm. From here to there, right? Quite a bit of growth. Alright, well, you saw those spin. Let me get rid of these. So, the major detractor from this model looking nice is those side windows being so recessed. I mean, these Kyoshos don't have such a problem, right? Look how the side windows are more or less flush. This 906, right? They're flush. Well, I guess the whole canopy's plastic there. But the Sparky, oh, never mind. The whole canopy's plastic. So that's how these brands got around it. They made the whole top one piece. Whereas this is trying to fit a plastic window into a die-cast body. Maybe they should have thought about that differently. Well, anyways, at least the Kyosho, they're capable of doing it. You know, this Finclassically didn't do it. But again, it's just nice that the graphics will never have a problem unless the actual paint has a problem. So I don't notice much paint rash on white cars. It seems to be red cars seem to have the most paint rash in my diecast collection. Okay, well, overall pretty nice. Not the best model, but pretty darn good, I think. So I think it's worth collecting. Thanks for watching. We'll see you around. Bye. See you at the next 1/64 scale race.